Mutya ng Davao 2026 Top 5. I know everybody's cheering for our ladies. Congratulations. Our Mutyas will be answering the same question and they will be given longer time this time. 60 seconds until they hear this sound. Well, that means the time is up. So our ladies will be preparing.
Now the 4 remaining candidates will wear soundproof headphones, and this is how this is going to go. We're going to call in one of our mutyas or one of our finalists. They have 60 seconds to answer the question. I have the final question in my hand right now.
I wanna take a look at it.
Sumilip
Para
ka
ready
na.
akong sumagot. Pwede po ba 120 seconds sa akin?
Pag hindi nakasagot, ikaw yung sasagot.
I know! Sab po.
Alright, so I think we are ready with our first finalist.
Ayan, we are preparing. Give us a signal po kapag ka ready na ang yung ating apat na mutya. Ayan. Well, taking this time to our audience, please, let's give these 60 seconds of silence for our ladies to collect their thoughts and share their heart's desire on the stage. Okay po ba yun? Clear po tayo? Yung ladies natin sa likod, naririnig nyo ba ako? Okay, I think hindi na nila ako naririnig.
Yeah, I think we're good, CJ. So we're gonna have our first finalist right here, Mutya 5. First of all, Mutya 5, huminga ka ng malalim and exhale ng malakas. Finally.
She was the last one now. She's the first one to answer the question.
Bakit ka tumagilid?
Hindi na ba?
Anong maamoy
Hindi
namin?
na
What
ba?
did you have for dinner tonight?
Wala pa. Well, same. Joke.
Adobo yung naamoy ko. Pero adobo yata kahapon pa, no? Last week pa.
Last week pa? Bakit? Super
Alright.
naman ang diet sa pageant.
Well, I think you are definitely ready for the final question. I think our other candidates, our other finalists are also wearing their headphones. So it's time for this. We'll be reading it twice. Here is your final question. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage? Once again, the world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security that we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage?
As Mutya ng Davao, I will utilize my platform to influence and educate people by advocating for collective responsibility and fostering the sense of community in order to achieve the best Davao by utilizing sustainable solution, utilizing the peace and order here in Davao City, and also inculcating this to the younger generations to come. Because I really believe that each one of us portrays a vital role in creating a positive change, and we just need to ignite our inner torch and start believing in our full potential. So I dare you all, speak up and try to illuminate that fire within you. Daghang salamat.
Daghang salamat, Mutya 5.
Ayaw ibigay yung
Ayaw
cue
niya
card.
nang ibalik yung question.
Alam mo, palit na lang tayo. Ikaw na lang mag-host.
Parang, pass the message. Thank you, Mutya 5. Pwede ka nang huminga at magpahinga muna for a while. Huwag mo sabihin yung question sa likod, ha? Unless ayaw mo na silang pasagutin.
Alright, so CJ, I think we are ready for our next finalist. And we're gonna call her down right now. Pero CJ,
Mutya,
did you see the way that our first finalist took the cue card away from
Yes,
me?
took the cue card and she doesn't want to give it back.
Alam mo kasi actually events host siya, di ba?
Oo. Well, ginagawa
Gusto
niya lang
kanya
naman yung work
palitan, CJ.
niya. Go lang, basta yung TF, makuha ko muna.
All right, so we have a Mutya number 6 right now. You are our second finalist. How was the headset? Kumusta? Nakakabingi ba? Okay pa ba ang tenga natin?
Okay pa?
Yes, actually, the music was pretty loud, so right now I can't really hear anything, but
Hello? Hello? Okay pa ba?
yes.
Okay na.
Okay na.
Natanggal na. What was the music pala? You know the title, no? Upbeat, maingay. Bakit maingay?
Wait lang. Let me just point out, di ba?
Okay.
Ganon,
Siya na yung
pinasa ko yung question,
Pinasa ang
yung question lang yung kinuha mo.
Yes.
Hindi yung cue card.
Hindi naman yung... Hindi rin yung mic mo. Ayoko rin naman gawin yung dalawang trabaho.
I think Mutya 6 is ready.
Are you ready? Breathe in, breathe out. I'll be reading your question twice. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis in intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage? Again, the world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage?
As a mutya ng Davao, we are not just the face of the city, and we are not just born to lead, but we are also born to speak up and to challenge the status quo. The war that we are experiencing right now is devastating. We see families being displaced, children who lost their access to their education and home, and communities who continue to live in fear. And here in Davao City, the city has owned a reputation for being safe and organized, and that is because of our good governance. And so with that, I believe what we can do is to strengthen diplomacy in dialogue, because through dialogue we can conquer everything. And as a mutya ng Davao, we are here to rise and speak up for the issues that matters, because true progress doesn't lie within just our people. It lies when everyone feels safe and secure. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Mutya number 6.
Mutya number 6.
Maraming salamat. Looks like we have very strong candidates tonight, CJ.
I would say,
But let me
agree.
ask you, while our third finalist is coming down, let me ask you, familiar ka ba dun sa sinasabi namin na culture of security?
Well, I want to know more about that. But
Yeah.
then,
Because of course,
we don't want our third candidate to know the question. So, anong kinain mo kanina for dinner?
bakit parang suddenly
Sumegway.
na-curious ka? Okay.
Ayan.
So we have Mutya 1. And if you didn't notice, sino to? Sino siya ngayon?
Wait lang, ang dami sagot. A, B, C, D, E. Sino po? Tama
Siya
ba yung
si-
answer nila?
Katoliko ka ba?
Opo, katoliko po
Ay.
ako.
Oh, grabe. Ay, nako. Pagalitan nyo to. I-excommunicate na po si CJ. Hindi kilala kung sino si Mutya number 1 right now.
I know.
You're of course looking like Mother Mary or Mama Mary.
Yes.
And is that what
This
you
evening
want to
gown
bring
is
here?
inspired by the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
I love that she brought it here on the stage, of
And I
course.
love how she is about to bring her Immaculate Heart into the question that she will answer right now.
So are you ready for your question? Well, we need a heart for this question. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage? Again, the world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage?
As a 𝑭𝑰𝑵𝑨𝑳, I am most proud of our culture of security. So I can bring it to the global stage by promoting our city, by leading with example. I will show the world why we are known to be the safest city in the world. Because in the war in Iran, while government makes the decision, it is always the people that suffer the consequences. So we must always choose leaders who have the heart for their people, because the leaders would shape, their voices would shape the direction of our nations. And as a mutya, I will also advocate for our people to cooperate, because one light may flicker in the dark, but when we choose to shine together, the darkness no longer stand a chance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mutya 1. All our Mutyas, they're all blowing me away from the answers.
It looks like we have a very proud daddy. Are you the dad? Kayo po yung dad ni number 1?
Number
No?
1, supporter
Boyfriend?
lang, avid supporter.
Ano ba to? Cousin?
Kasi family member. Daughter! Daughter? Wow!
Alright, so coming
Grabe
down
ang
right now, we have
support.
Mutya 19.
Mutya 19. Nasaan naman ang supporter si Mutya 19? Ayan. Second to the last Mutya
Wait
to
lang.
answer.
Kanina, isang side lang yung sumisigaw nung sinabi namin ni Mutya 19. Ngayon, lahat na, ano nangyari? Bakit parang biglang naging balimbing kayo? Are you giving your support to Mutya 19 tonight? Sino yung mga yon?
No, everybody.
Buo na.
Kayo ha? No, but everybody's just so supportive of all our Mutyas. Kaya salamat po sa inyong support. Support nyo rin po sa akin. Salamat po.
Alright, I hope Mutya number 19 is ready.
Yes.
Ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
This is your question, and we'll be reading it twice. You have 60 seconds. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage? Once more. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage?
So my depiction of what the culture of security is rooted in is in education. And how do we educate people? By starting a dialogue. It's so hard to say that we should be non-political these days when everything we do is political. And we have to be respectful in terms of our political views and opinions. And we should be able to share to one another. And that is my role as mutya, to have that engaged dialogue. Because politics will haunt us in our wages, our fuel, and our education. And we must talk about politics like it's a life and death situation. Because Filipino lives, no, human lives are quite literally on the line. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Mutya 19.
I love how everybody's just, strongly sharing their perspective on this very important matter.
And habang pumupunta sa atin si Mutya number 8, let me just commend the people of Davao City. Maraming salamat po. We didn't have to remind you to stay quiet habang sumasagot yung mga candidates natin. You guys just did. And speaking of quiet kanina pa si Mutya 8, especially because may headphones siya.
Nabingi ba sa music?
Yeah.
A little bit. Ayan,
It was
sinasabi
the
ko
pressure
na.
that was a bit harder, rather than the sound, I would say.
Rather than sound, I would say.
May accent si Mutya number 8. Where is that accent from?
I love it!
I honestly don't know because I'm half British, half Filipino. And my father has a full British accent, but I guess I got it from media.
At dahil dyan, si CJ ang magtatanong sa kayo in full British accent.
Pa, bakit di mo ko binigyan ng accent? I am a proud Filipino with a little bit of American blood, so...
I'll go
that's
CJ
why.
now.
No, but This question is very serious, so mamaya na lang po ako mag-accent. Okay, I just want you to feel more relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Tama ba yun? Okay. I'll be reading your question twice. The world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage? Again, the world is currently witnessing a humanitarian crisis and intense conflict in the Middle East. As a potential mutya ng Davao, how can you use the culture of security we practice here in Davao City as a blueprint to advocate for global peace and solidarity on the international stage?
I believe that Davao City is one of the safest cities here in our country, not because we're just disciplined, but also because we have hope. Hope for a better life, hope for a better future for ourselves and our children. As a mutya ng Davao, I will use this hope to inspire people to be better for ourselves and for others. When Pandora's box was opened to humanity, it was war and bad things that came out, but one thing was left. It was hope. And that hope is the one that strengthens our indomitable human spirit that continues us to live on and makes us brave Davaoeños. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.
Wala ka nang ibang nasabi.
Can I have a
wait
bottle of water?
A bottle of
Water?
Spell indomitable. And ano sabi niya? Indomitable.